Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. So it's Christmas Day and I decided to come up to Dartmoor to do some astrophotography. I'm at Haytor and I've been wanting to get a photo at Haytor for quite a while, where you've got the main Haytor rock, cloud inversion and some really nice starry skies. I think the conditions are looking promising. There's a lot that can kind of go wrong, but there is some fog here, but it's quite thin. So I think by the time I get from the car park to the tour, might be punching above it. I guess time will tell. There is some teenagers that have just wandered up there, so I hope that's not going to cause too much of a problem, but I guess we'll soon find out. And there is a few things going on tonight. So we've got moonrise about 2:30, so that could be quite an interesting feature to any photography. And there's also a chance of some northern lights. Although there's nothing on the stats at the moment, the forecast is for potentially some activity. So if that happens, that'd be interesting as well. So yeah, let's jump straight into it and see what the night holds. Up at my shooting location now, and as you can see behind me, there is some foggy conditions. Everything's changed quite quickly. The mist was actually a lot higher than it is now, and it's kind of just dropped down a little bit. There is a bit of high cloud, but I can definitely see stars as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the night progresses. I'm just going to probably just stay at this one location, try to get the time lapse working, probably work on a few different compositions. And just see how things kind of change. I haven't checked the statistics of my apps for any northern light activity, but I'd be interested to see if any of that kind of develops. But yes, really beautiful up here, and yeah, I can't wait to start getting some images. So while waiting for the skies to clear, I took a bit of an explore around the tour to try to find a few composition ideas. And as I did that, the skies did start to clear, so I rushed back to my main shooting location to capture my first image of the night. So this image is a panorama which I took with 3 landscape foreground images and then 3 landscape format sky images, and I've merged them together in Lightroom and Photoshop. I also was really pleased with how the cloud inversion looked at this point and how it kind of dampened some of the light pollution from the towns below. So a really nice way to start the night. So it didn't take long after my first composition for a bank of cloud to roll in again, and although it wasn't too thick, it definitely impacted the kind of images that I had in mind. So I decided to relocate again and set up my tripod, but also just enjoy taking in this kind of really beautiful scene. I then decided to set up my time-lapse camera, and I thought it might look quite interesting with the cloud inversion and the high level cloud moving across. And while I was doing that, I was also keeping half an eye on the northern light activity, just to make sure I didn't miss any opportunities to photograph the northern lights if they should appear. I've got really quite difficult now. As expected, the humidity is really high, and I'm having to clean the lenses every few minutes. So I don't think the time lapse is going to be possible for much longer. But the high cloud is now completely left, so it's beautifully starry at the moment. The fog kind of comes and goes. So I've got a few compositions which I'm really happy with, but I'm just going to probably put my time lapse away now and just focus a bit more on the still photography. So this is my second composition of the night and features a figure on top of Haytor rock to add a little bit of scale to the scene. To create this image, I took one exposure of the sky at ISO 6400, f2.8, and with a shutter speed of 20 seconds. I also used a star glow filter to bring out the constellations. I then aimed the camera downwards and I did a longer exposure of 1 minute for the foreground at f2.8 with an ISO of 6400. I then merged both the images together in Photoshop and Lightroom. So my second image was similar to the previous, but is a slight panorama. So I did 2 images of the foreground, left and right, and then 2 images of the sky, left and right, and then merged them all together just to give a slightly wider scene and to show more of the hills and cloud inversion to the right of the main stack. So this is my final image of the night and will be the conclusion of this video vlog. Now with this image, I wanted to feature the constellation of Leo, which I don't think is often featured, but it is quite an interesting constellation, which in this image has come out really well with the star glow filter. Took this image with similar settings of my previous images, so the sky was an exposure of 20 seconds at ISO 6400 at f2.8, and the foreground had the same settings but a longer exposure of 1 minute, and they were merged together in Photoshop and Lightroom. So overall, a really fun night and a great way to spend Christmas evening. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, then please feel free to put them below the video and I will be happy to reply. But otherwise, I hope everyone has plenty of clear skies and I'll catch you again next time.